this special birthday episode, I share 5 core life lessons that have brought me peace and purpose over the years. From embracing the power of perspective and finding the silver lining in every situation, to letting go of ego and avoiding negative thought spirals, these insights serve as a guide for intentional living. I'll share some personal stories and reflections and really encourage you to embrace growth, resilience, and joy. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. If you're a frequent flyer, thank you for tuning in. And you'll know this episode is a little early this week, and that's because I'm celebrating my birthday today, the big 6-0. And if you're new to the podcast, you picked a special day to tune in. Not just because it's my birthday, but while I hope to have a much longer life with a lot more lessons, I felt this would be a good reason to share 5 core life lessons I've learned so far that really contribute to my peace and purpose, and I think they will for you as well. My focus is to intentionally live so that I can be as active, healthy, with purpose for another 50 years. So I still have a lot of time left to learn, and to me, that's the way to stay young, is to keep learning. Not just about myself and focusing on mindfulness, but learning and knowledge with reading, listening to podcasts, speaking with others that have a different opinion than mine, and also learning physically. I actually just tried curling last week. That's the sport where you push that little ball down the ice and you use, well, I guess they look like brooms, but they're really not, where they're sweeping really, really hard to try to get the puck, or I don't even know, the rock, I think it's called. I should know. It was just there last week. But you push it down to get it into like a bullseye. And when I used to watch this and wonder, how the heck is that a sport? Well, let me tell you, it's a workout, and I have so much more appreciation for these athletes. So just learning that was enjoyable. It really challenged me and made me see how hard this really is. And again, appreciation. So I still have pickleball on the list to learn. So maybe that'll happen next. So let me get going, even if you know some of these lessons. It's always good to have a reminder to reinforce and remain consistent. So here we go. Number one, always look for the silver lining in every situation. I'm not saying that life will always be rainbows and butterflies, but I do believe there's something good in every person and every situation. You will always find what you're looking for or what you're directing your energy to. So if you're looking for the good, you will find it. And if you're assuming the worst and looking for things to go badly, you'll find that too. It's like the red car experiment. You may not even realize you saw any red cars today, but as soon as I tell you to start looking for them, you will begin to see them more and more. They were always there. It's not like there's just more red cars now. They were always there, but your brain was not actively looking for them. Once you become active and intentional, you see them. So it's the same for goodness in the world, or signs that you're on the right track and doing what you should be doing. If you're actively looking for them, you will see them. I'm regularly looking for signs for my podcast and that I'm supposed to be moving more towards mindfulness and helping people. And I regularly see peace symbols, license plates with the word peace. I hear the words little by little or piece by piece regularly in shows and conversations. And sometimes when I decide what podcast subject to do that week, I'll hear someone speak about that same subject right around the same time, or an article will pop online for the same subject. And I say out loud, thank you, universe, for confirming, for validating me. It reminds me that what is supposed to happen for me will happen, and that I'm exactly where I need to be. And we all are. Part of that silver lining is reinforcing that everything that is meant for you will come your way, and that you are meant to be exactly where you are right now, every moment and every day. So enjoy each moment and each day. It may not feel like that, especially if life feels overwhelming or not in balance, but those silver linings are there, maybe buried deep, but they are there. So that's lesson number one. Look for the silver lining, look for the good, and your life will gradually fill with more goodness and love. because that's what you're looking for, and your mind will make sure you don't miss the signs around you. Number two, let go of ego. Once you stop thinking that the world is out to get you or that everything good or bad is about you, you stop taking things personally. You realize that things just happen and recognize everyone has crap that they're dealing with, and their crap that makes them react to you negatively may have nothing to do with you. The way they reacted to you, the way they treated you. It's all on them and whatever happened to be in their way that day. Now, maybe you piss them off and you have to own that. But if you're just going about your day and someone reacts negatively to you or overreacts, think about the times that you did the same to someone else. Remember then, maybe when you were feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, forgotten, unloved, whatever it was where you may have lashed out unfairly to someone, and give that other person space to feel what they're feeling without you taking it on. When you're able to not take things personally, you not only find more peace by not getting as angry, but you find that forgiveness comes easier for you, and that too helps you calm and stay in balance. Remember, it's not about being right sometimes, it's about being at peace. Number three, reflect rather than ruminate. Instead of swirling negative thought after negative thought, or more likely the same thought and story over and over in your mind, slow it down, stop the swirling so you can actually look at what it is. As they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Humans have over 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are repetitive and negative. Ruminating the same thought and thinking you will find peace when you didn't find it the first 45,000 times will never be helpful. Now, I've been intentionally working on myself for the last 5 years, and I'll admit I still have repetitive negative thoughts, but I have them less and I recognize them more so that I can actively challenge them, reflect on them. Instead of just letting them swirl, I can ask why. Why am I having these thoughts? Why can't I let it go? What one thing can I do that's in my control that will help slow the swirl or quiet the thought? What can I learn from this? That question in itself goes hand in hand with lesson one and two. So rather than asking, why me? Instead, what can I learn from this that helps to find the silver lining, helps to let go of my ego, and instead focus on the healing? And that's what we all need, no matter where we are in life, is healing from our past, from what happened today, to prepare for tomorrow. Number four, find your community. This could be family, friends, support groups. Find those people that uplift you, that motivates you to keep growing, that you can learn from, that are worthy of your energy and time. I am very lucky to have friends from elementary, middle, and high school that are all part of my inner circle. You want to keep those people who are not there to judge you, but to listen, share, care for you, and honestly, when necessary, call you on your BS. And while it's great to have support from people who've seen you through all phases of life and still love and support you, I know that's not always the case, especially if you move around a lot. But maybe you can find your community in local groups or meeting places where you share something in common. I'll tell you, for the past few years, I made a new community in a local cigar bar here in town named Castro's, where it's mostly guys there, but really they feel more like brothers. Everyone there looks out for each other, and I have never felt unsafe going there by myself. I mean, it is a bar, but I have always felt safe there. While the first time I went, I happened by and just went in to go for a drink here and there. The guys eventually taught me how to play darts. And when I was going through my divorce a few years ago, I really couldn't stand to be in my house alone. And so I went to Castro's and played a lot of darts. Those nights going to darts, to even play by myself, as I was trying to get better, talking to the amazing women behind the bar, just having them listen while I was trying to get myself together. It was my group therapy. I'm in a much better headspace now, and while I could go somewhere that has more dartboards and way less smoke, they don't have what this place has. Even though every time I get home I have to de-stink myself and my clothes from the cigar smoke, I keep going because they are just a great group of good humans, and I want to keep those connections. And that's the thing about your community or keeping in touch with friends or family, whether that family you're born into or it's chosen family. And yes, you get to choose your family. You have to make an effort. We all get busy with our lives, but there's so many ways now that we can keep in touch. Our phones and social media can be used a little too much and become unhealthy, but use the technology rather than it using you. When you think of someone, make sure to send a message or reach out. Hey, just thought of you and hope you're doing good. Hey, a picture came up on my feed and I remember when we shared that amazing time together. Don't worry about how much time has passed. Reconnect if they are worth it. Once you find those people that feed you positively, keep them in your life. And the ones that feed off you, move away from anyone that sucks the life out of you and doesn't boost your energy. But keep connections to those you can sit in silence with, and that silence feels comfortable. Those that you can do simple things like going for a walk, playing cards, maybe playing darts. Purposely find and fill your life with more simple joy and laughter. It's not just medicine for your soul. I believe it's the life force that will hopefully help me get to those next 50 years, regardless of what comes my way. And the fifth and final lesson is to make yourself a priority and focus on your own self care. That doesn't mean you don't care for others or that you're being selfish. In fact, taking care of yourself is one of the best things you can do for your family and loved ones because it ensures that you are full and open to give others the best of you. You deserve to give yourself as much care as you give others, and they deserve to get the best of you. And it's not about finding time for yourself. You'll say, well, I don't have time to do that. You don't need to find time, as the time is always there. We always have 24 hours in the day, 60 minutes in an hour. It's what we choose to do with that time. Choose yourself each and every day, even if it's just 15 minutes of that time. The more you make yourself a priority, the easier it gets to be more consistent and the stronger connection you make to yourself. Your inner peace will grow to the point that no matter what comes your way, you will have the inner strength, calm, and peace to deal with it. You become like the sky. The clouds can come and go. It can be sunny out or it can be thunderstorms, but the sky is still just the sky. It stays steady and just lets everything flow by. So be the sky. So that's what I've got for you after 60 years on this planet. I've been through crap as we all have. I've hurt and been hurt. I've loved, I've been loved, I've moved through and out of love. But I've laughed more than I've cried, and I've healed many of the parts I didn't even know were there. I love me so much more now that I really know me, and I'm so ready to keep working on myself and finding the joy and gratitude in all that life throws at me for the next 50 years, hopefully, and sharing it with you on this podcast. Whatever you may be going through, I'm here to tell you it does get better. You will move through whatever you need to. Find the wisdom and the learning so that as each year goes by, you let go of any anger and bitterness and you embrace the beautiful, strong you that you are meant for, that you deserve to be. I hope my experiences help in some small way and that you share this podcast with someone you know that maybe doesn't see life this way yet, but wants to. And maybe they want to help themselves in a more intentional way. It only takes one person to change the world, and you have the power to change your own world. We can and must all help each other, love each other, be kind to each other, and move each other forward in our lives, little by little and piece by piece. This podcast is based on my own life experiences. I'm not a therapist, a psychologist, psychiatrist, or any other licensed medical professional. Please share this podcast with anyone you think needs to hear this so that we all move forward, little by little and piece by piece. And thank you, Purple Planet, for sharing your music.